Okay, so on the subject of chickens, as you can see, we have a brooder here. Now this is our updated brooder. And the old brooder, original style, was this one, and it had like your beadboard that you would use for your showers or something around the bottom that fits around the bottom, fully encased to the floor, and then the upper is wire to allow you for ventilation. They do have, these are sitting outside right now because it's good weather for that. See, there's hinges, there's a place to hang your heat lamp in each one. Now this one, the updated version, has more spaces to do it. Okay, so things that we did different. This has 1/4 inch wire hardware cloth for the bottom, and this one has 1/2 inch hardware cloth. And I would say that you need something that is similar with both for them. So whenever we get our chickens, we bring them home, they go into these brooders, and they're there for 3 to 5 weeks. It just depends on the weather outside. Now these guys are in, this is their second week here, so next week we'll transition them out. What will happen is we're going to transition these are our Cornish cross and our keepers that are in the old style brooder, and so our Cornish crosses are going to go out on grass this week. And then we'll transfer half of the chickens that are in this brooder and put them over in this one. This keeps the rain off of them, but they're outside. The droppings fall through to the bottom, so that makes it really easy to clean up after them and move that around to wherever you need it. Okay, and then out here I'm going to go through here. Don't worry, I turned it off first. This is Premier One poultry netting, just so you know, that we use for our teenagers, what we call our teenagers. So as they graduate out of the brooder that's inside, the brooders that you just saw, we transition them into these chicken tractors. This is similar, I think, as John Solovich or something like that. Anyway, it is modified. I am tall, and I hate to duck down whenever I go inside. So this is modified so I don't have to bend over whenever I go in. Obviously, our first round of chickens are teenagers. They use this as a roost house because they're out by day. Now, whenever we move the little ones into here, we'll leave them locked up for 2 weeks, and then they'll be allowed to go out during the day and then come back at night. Chickens are homing mechanisms. They can be trained, and then they will stay. So it has 1/2 inch hardware cloth at the bottom, and then we have chicken wire at the top, and then it's covered with a white tarp. It can be pulled. It's got angles at the bottom for it, and then on this end it's also angled, so you can pick it up at either end and move it along. The T-post is here because we will, whenever we put the birds further out away from the house, in this we electrify around the bottom to help keep predators at bay while they're young, and then whenever they're no longer young anymore, then we use the Premier One poultry netting around the bottom. Now, if you're not familiar with chickens totally annihilate anything that they're living within, or my chickens do. Any chicken I've ever raised has been this way. I've seen people that have nice green yards. I don't have that with my chickens. So in between the things, the brooders are going to be, so we'll move meat birds into that chicken tractor. Then we have another version of this, and this is 5x10. It has larger 1 inch hardware cloth in the bottom. It has some roost in it, but this is just to get them in between where they're not quite ready to go out yet, because whenever chicks are really young, it's really easy for birds of prey to pick them off. It is easy for us to for them to get lost, all of the things. And so we will put them in this and in the chicken tractors for 2 weeks, and then once they're ready to, after 2 weeks, then they'll be trained and they'll be ready to open the doors and let them out. And we start that in the evening, so we'll pick one evening and we'll let the birds out. Now, these are young birds that we had. They were 6 weeks old whenever we let them out for the first time. This used to look like, where we're walking here, used to look like the bush that's over there. And now that they are now 12 weeks, so they've been on it for 6 weeks and completely gotten rid of it. Yesterday we moved all the fencing around, we opened up the gap here, and now they have the far side, and that should finish them out with us. These are layers. These are layers that we have sold partially, and then we keep the other portion of them. I have pictures on our TikTok and Facebook chronicling the way it looks every day. So every day we are going to update how quickly it is that chickens can clear the land. Shady spots, especially in the summertime, are a big deal. So they will get underneath the shade and get out of the way so that they can stay cool. And obviously you can see they dig holes and such for dearth baths. But so anyway, this stage is in our orchard. We don't graze our goats, or we'll put the horses out in the orchard, but for the most part we reserve this for non-harmful to the trees livestock. So like our chickens, we put them out. We'll use the portion of it in the early spring for the goats, but in this orchard we have raspberries, we have apple trees, and this is a grapevine, obviously, that runs along here. This over here is our final stage of chicken house. That's right there. It is a full-blown chicken house. They can stay in it all winter. It has grating for the floor. We're going to go look at that next. Sorry, that was my finger. Snap, snap goes the fence. So this was built in the winter of 23. It has 12 nest boxes. Yes, 12 nest boxes. Windows. We're going to open the other side of it. We're going to rehab it a little bit as our needs have changed for what we do. But the nest boxes, you can collect the eggs from the outside, which is a big thing for me. I like to be able to do that because I don't want to go in the hen house to collect eggs. Yes, she's broody. Yes, we're going to give her eggs to sit on. I started picking those up today. But it has this slab grating, so most of it falls through. What doesn't fall through is easily scraped out, and there's their roosts. It's just a simple, straightforward chicken house. Nothing fancy. They like it, and that's that. So we're going to make something similar but a little bit different for them, because we're going to have more birds. Right now we have about 30 layers. After we get done with this batch of chicks that are here, we'll have an additional 50, and then I have another batch of 200 that are up and coming, and we need to make room for all of those chickens. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along on this chicken ranch of sorts journey as we are planning to build our layer herd to 1,000 birds. So we'll see you later.